mean, how sick must that tower been, dude, that he was like, oh.
It must have been...
Sick as fuck, dude.
It intimidated God.
Probably just a big gun pointed at the sky, right? It spooked God. It's probably the Death Star, right?
It was actually, it was a propulsion system.
He's like, one of the angels is like, sir, they got a lock.
Just love basically a latte. I put a lot of milk in my coffee, and my wife makes fun of how much milk I put in it.
You like a creamy one?
Yeah, I like a creamy one. It's more of a, dulce de leche type situation.
Dude, milk's delicious. It's
good.
You're talking to a dairy boy, whether I should be or not.
I grew up on it. It was plentiful in my house. It was available.
Yeah, dude, I was like chugging milk at dinner till I left home. Till I was like 18.
Frequently milk with dinner. Milk with like mashed potatoes and meat.
Yep.
What a meal.
Just like white. Just like fully as the driven snow.
So many like... There's nothing in the dinner that is like actually purely good for you. There's things that are like adjacent. There's like vegetables that are soaked in butter.
Yeah.
And were frozen, and you only ate 3 of them.
Dude, that's how I do it. Like I'll eat like something just nasty, like just some fucking in a bun, but I'll just like wolf down some spinach and be like, it's a draw.
Right. Yeah. I tend to trade things off too.
Did you grow up religious?
I did, yeah.
What kind?
I grew up Lutheran.
Lutheran, okay.
So going to church every Sunday, and it was not optional.
Okay.
Yeah. Sunday school, youth group sometimes. It was a lot.
Did the youth group have like a badass name? Sometimes it's like
No.
Push or whatever.
No, literally it was called youth group.
Dude, same. Honestly, kind of glad. That's tough when it's like too branded.
Yeah, when it's like, what was the ones that were like Life Force?
Yeah. I would say smoke, but obviously not. I feel like they could kind of be the names of colognes a little bit.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Let's do a good scene. That's like, you want to, somebody welcoming someone to a youth group that's like, their branding is like too good.
Yeah. You look good.
Oh, thanks. It's just a hoodie. I don't know if we were gonna like do something active or whatever. It's just kind of what I was wearing.
Yeah, I know you showed up today.
Yeah. No, my friend said it was cool. So is it starting?
No, I'm just saying I can tell that you showed up.
Oh,
today.
That's accurate. Yeah. I'm Tommy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tommy, are you looking for something in life?
My friend Ryan said that we might play Ultimate.
And we might, yeah.
Sick.
But are you looking for something?
What do you mean?
Have you ever noticed, like, when you're going to bed sometimes, there's something missing?
Yeah, like my phone charger.
Tommy, is there anything under that?
I've been jacking it a lot.
And there you go.
Folks, it's Holy Smoke. Where we smoke weed and tell Bible stories. My name is Scoochie Boochie. I didn't tell you I'm going by my rap alias on here. This is Lawrence.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
What a treat.
It's fun to be here.
Hell yeah. Let's just get into it. We were already talking about crops. I got some crops in my story today, so that's a nice little segue. I'm going to cast lots. We'll see who goes first. I rolled a 5. I have to roll a die.
Okay. All right.
A 4. All right, I'm going first. We are picking up in Genesis. Where are we at here? 4. So where we last left off. Feel free to follow along. See, you can tell. I've had one guest who grew up at church, one who left pretty early.
I was like,
struggle to find a chapter. It's nice to have someone with a little bit of classical training who's like, boom, what'd you say, Genesis 4? I'm there.
I'm getting in there.
Honestly, this beanie is the most Christian you've ever looked. I've never seen you with a more Christ-like look, and I thank you for that. Respectfully. Right. So we just got out of Garden of Eden. They fucked up. The last thing, they close it off, and there's someone with a flaming sword guarding the entrance. Badass. So now, Adam and Eve have a kid. They call him Cain. And there's a nice little footnote here. She's like, I called him that because I got him with the help of the Lord. And the footnote's like, in Hebrew, Cain sounds like got. So basically, the third person ever was named Got him. And then Abel, other kid. So they got two boys. Abel, the second one, starts being a shepherd. He's a sheep farmer. And then Cain is just like a farmer. He's growing crops. They do a sacrifice. Fucking Abel gives like just the best sheep, like the elite sheep. Mm-hmm. There's like an MSRP thing in the corner where you see, or like AR, no, what's it called? What's like the things, the numbers in the car commercials? APR. Okay. The type of sheep you put a down payment on.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Right. Yeah.
And the Lord likes that. He likes meat. That's
okay.
A big theme in the OT.
Yep, it is. Yeah.
Like, he just made everything. And then part of everything started grilling. He was like, what do you got?
Yeah.
What you guys working on?
Yeah, I like that he enjoys the smell of his creations being burned. Like, you combine two of the things I gave you.
He's like, shit.
That's cool. I can see that, though. I can see that.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? You took what I did and you know.
Yeah.
It's like rap rock, Like, he combined a couple things.
One of your animals eating another one is like rap rock. It's like corn, ironically. Meat is like corn.
I'm just saying it's two things put together.
Dude,
God respects that.
Did you see either the Woodstock 99 documentaries, dude?
Yes, I did.
I saw the Netflix one.
Yeah, apparently they ended the world. Dude. Like, based on the tone of those, apparently, like, that was the depth of hell were brought forth.
Oh, man. They're like, 14 breasts were grabbed that day. And you're like, oh, but why did they do all this? Like, yeah. This is just purely recycling a bit I did earlier, but I love it very much, which is if an Amish person on Rumspringa, like the 1 year they can go out into the world, just happened for the Rumspringa to go to Woodstock 99, they'd be like, oh, I totally get why we're Amish, dude. This is fucked up. This is what society's
yeah.
This is Limp Bizkit is all you see, and you're like, the fuck?
Yeah. Actually, I think, not to foreshadow too much, but I think we should keep that vision. Mm-hmm. Like, keep the vision in mind of someone who's, like, kind of naive, stumbling upon Woodstock 99.
Yeah.
Like, seeing the spectacle of, like, humans at, like, their most barbaric.
Ooh, is that related to your story?
Yeah.
Oh, what a treat. I'm very glad we kept it a secret, because I'm very excited to find out what it's going to be. All right. So, he gives him the nice lamb. And then Cain, older brother, regular farmer, gives him it just as some of his harvest. And the Lord's like, I like that. And then Cain doesn't like that he doesn't like that, which is an emotion I'm very familiar with. Like, when someone's mad at you and you're like, you're mad at me? I'm like, and you like list like 8 things in the shower. There ought to be a word for that feeling. When someone's mad at you and you're like, that's not the score, dude. Come on.
Yeah.
So Cain's pissed. And the Lord calls him out. He's like, what's wrong with you, dude? Why you look so angry? If you did the right thing, you'd be smiling. You did the wrong thing, you're sinned. Sin's going to destroy you. You fucked up. Mm-hmm. And the next verse is Cain says to his brother Abel, let's go for a walk. So it feels kind of like a blow-off steam killing. Like, not Abel's fault at all. He just did a good job near Cain. Cain's like, I'm going to fucking kill you, dude.
I also like how the Old Testament...
I forgot to light the story lamp. Okay, sorry. Keep going. Boop, I'm done. All right.
I love how the Old Testament constantly switches how much time is encapsulated. Like, one sentence will be like... It could be like... You could argue it would be like 1,000,000 years. And then another sentence will be like 10 seconds. Like, let's go for a walk.
Yeah. And just a second ago, we were creating the lights and the dark. And now it's like...
Right.
Yeah. Like, also... Just such a bad look for humanity, dude. Like, we haven't got to the killing yet. We'll get there. Okay, so Oh, that's the next. And they were out in the field. Cain killed him. That's so they went out. Boom. Cain gets in the field. I feel like the pictures I saw going up was like hit him with a stone. Is that how you picture it?
That's how I picture it too. It was he didn't have a weapon. He was using like part of It was. I mean, it was a weapon, but it was like
just something blunt.
Yeah.
He didn't go like hand style. Like almost anything's funny. Like the first murder is also him seeing the first gun. He's like, "What you got there, man? Is that a cool farming implement?" And it's like, "What?"
Can you imagine if in the Bible it like vividly described him using a blow dart? Like if it slowed down for multiple verses, describe him like throwing ninja stars.
Let's do a scene that's like we're like golf commentators watching the choices he makes for the world's first murder. We're back at the field here on CBS with Jim Nance, Roger Palmer.
It's a beautiful day. The wind is just bearing down slightly. You can see the leaves of wheat flowing in the wind.
Yes, and this field's actually tended by Cain. This is one of his fields. He knows it well. Should be able to play that line, no problem. Get his footing.
He looks good. He looks comfortable. He's been in these spots before.
Abel, his caddy. Just totally unaware. Just looking out on what's that book? We're like look out on the lake. You know what I'm talking about? Before he executes the guy in the back of the head. Spoiler. What is it?
Oh yeah.
Lenny.
No.
What is that book?
Of Mice and Men.
Yeah, Abel's full of mice and men right now.
Yeah, oblivious, staring out, considering how nice it is to be outside, to have his work be something he can perform outside.
And okay, looks like Cain's going into the bag. What's he pulling out there, Jim?
Oh, and that is a 9mm.
Going with the 9, the 9 iron. He's gone. That's a good ending. That's a great little button. What a treat. Okay, and then the Lord's like, "Hey, where's Abel, dude?" And he's like, it's the most angsty teen line I feel like in the whole Bible. How should I know? Am I supposed to look after my brother? Or the translation say, "Am I my brother's keeper?" It's the most like God, literally, literally God, dude. And the Lord's like, "Why'd you do that? I heard his blood calling out to me." It's also funny that this is the Precious Moments Bible and has like this kind of pictures. And we're in chapter 4 and it's like, "Your brother's blood cries out from the ground." So that's good. It's weird how like, in a sense, like church is kind of for kids. Like I feel like it's mostly for kids. It's about kids and it's like around kids. Mm-hmm. But it's also metal as hell. Crazy that it's both.
I think it's like, I think it's so frightening to kids, or at least it was very frightening to me. Mm. And I don't, in a way that like I couldn't process at the time. But I think it still was designed that way. Like I think it was designed to reach out to me, but because it was designed by adults, it ended up being frightening.
Oh, interesting.
You know what I mean? Like this, the thing of God being everywhere all the time.
They didn't mean to scare you with that one, but it did.
Yeah, it's supposed to be reassuring. It's supposed to
He's
be like,
always right behind you.
God is everywhere.
Yeah.
Always. At all times.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, I can't ever be alone. Ever? I can't be alone for a second? Are you kidding me? Like, how could that's so unfair.
Give me a...
Why can't I get a break to jerk off by myself?
Can we have a locker room?
Yeah. Like, I get it if he wants to help me out, fine, but I should get to go somewhere that, like, they're not there.
It's like finding a camera in the bathroom stall. You're like, even here?
Yeah, even here? Really? It upset me.
It's pretty fucked up they gave that to Santa, too. They're like, he sees you when you sleep, he knows when you're awake. I'm like, and his... What?
Even more scary because of the outfit.
Not
Both versions, though, they're old men. If they had been like... If they had been like... Okay, you want to know what God is? And they like they took us to the ocean. They were like, look at the waves. Mm. And they were like, just try to figure out, that's God, basically. Just try to figure that out.
Yeah.
That would be so much less terrifying than like, here's this old man with a beard who can see when you jerk off.
And especially like in the Old
Testament. And
he's
mad about it.
Oh, he hates when you do your favorite thing. Mm-hmm. That pisses him off a lot.
Sorry, you were about to say.
I mean, if I could see everything, I would get mad at how much jerking off is happening. I just get sick of it, dude.
I just think you'd have to be good, and he can figure out how to toggle some shit off and not get alerted every time. He can.
If he can't control his Google alerts.
I want to believe in a God that lets you have shit that's not recorded in God's memory. That's the kind of God I want to believe.
Yeah.
There's times when you don't have to be, on the clock.
Yeah, that's a good quality, like in a friend or a parent. They're around,
Right.
but they're not always there.
Always.
That's a rude thing to do to someone. That's why marriage is difficult, I guess.
It's overbearing. But see, that's the great thing about marriage is that you can choose to give each other those spaces.
Even married people don't hang out with much. God's like your ultra wife, dude. He's
come on. He's in your business.
He's in your shit, dude.
Yeah.
Cries out to the blood. Okay, and so he's like, because you killed your brother, put a curse on you. You can't even farm, dude. The land is gonna be like, and nothing's gonna grow. You're fucked. And you gotta wander. And Cain's like, that's bullshit, dude. Because if I wander, I love how this translation says it. I'll have to wander without a home, and just anyone could kill me. The contemporary English version is chill as hell, dude. Like, he just invented murder and was like, someone could totally do this to me.
It's logical.
He was like, oh, shit, that's possible?
Yeah.
Like, what a weird, first time he's mad, he just invents, the first murder. And then he's like, why is he not alive? Like, did he even get it? What he was doing?
Does it count? I don't think it counts.
Did he just spaz?
I don't think it counts.
Yeah?
I think if you, in baseball, if there weren't any foul lines, if you were playing baseball before they knew what foul lines were, and you hit one that was foul...
You'd be like, cool.
They'd be like, that's foul. You'd be like, what is foul?
I hit it so far.
Because you hit it so far in that direction, now this is...
Oh, I hit it so far wrong?
You'd be like, okay, the next guy will know that, but I didn't know that. He was just angry. He was just bashing...
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure... Do you have a memory, a specific memory when you were a kid of, having anger overwhelm you and, physically, punching your sibling or a friend or, pushing somebody or something?
Pillow or just fucking, yeah. I think there was one time I got home from school. It might have been, middle school, so a little older. But I went into, I was, on the opposite end of the house, but, a door or two was open. So I was like, I thought my mom could hear me. I just went, fuck. And then my mom went, you okay? And I'd be like, yep. And we just never talked about it.
Please tell me, is that the most violent you've ever been in your life? Was quietly saying that?
Oh, dude, I'm doughy soft, bro. That's the best example I can think of.
I love that. I was like, if you ever hurt somebody and you're like...
One time I screamed...
Once I whispered a swear word... I love it. I'm really not sure.
It's really spot on. I have such a... Honestly, and with honesty, the worst physical pain I've ever felt was one time someone put Taco Bell hot sauce packets under the toilet seat, and when I sat down, they all exploded, and I got Diablo sauce all over my butt crack and ball sack. That's the worst thing that's really ever happened to me. So it's been easy sailing.
I mean, that's rough.
That was actually...
That's actually... No, pain-wise, maybe you haven't dished it out.
Yeah. Zero fights. The closest I've been to even seeing a fight was one time in middle school. Dustin and Dusty got into a fight. We called it the dust up. But I just saw afterwards when one of their shirts was messed up, and I didn't even
Were
get to
you
see
Newsies? Dustin and Dusty, and we called it the dust up.
Yeah, bro.
Sounds like you were choreographed.
I went to school in the hills, dude. Shit's more whimsical there.
It does sound whimsical.
So what do you got? Did you punch somebody?
No, I mean, I definitely punched, before you're old enough to hurt anybody, before you're in, 5th grade or whatever.
Little guy punches.
Yeah, when you're, I remember punching a 4th grader when I was in, 1st grade, and he was like, don't do that.
In the face?
Yeah.
Throw a little tiny haymaker?
I saw it on TV, and I was like, it seems funny.
It was like a bit.
Yeah, I thought it was, kind of a bit. Because he was, a big, older, kind of bullyish type guy. He wasn't, actually a bully. He was just, he was in 4th grade. He seemed like he was 30.
Right.
I was in 1st grade.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm just going to, sucker punch this guy. While we're in line so everyone can see, I think it'll be funny. And he was just like, what the fuck? And everyone was like, what the fuck?
Did you go straight jab? Upwards jab?
Yeah, just and he was taller. It was I don't think he. It looked like he had been, mildly inconvenienced.
Just like what the. Yeah, a first grader's fist is such a funny amount of mass to hit you.
Yeah.
I like that, like. Because the way you brought it up was you've been so angry, but that was just truly on a whim.
That was on a whim. No, but the angry ones, I would say, like my best friend, his name was Lenny, growing up. And
you were Lenny and Lawrence? Lenny That's Lawrence. Pretty newsies.
Pretty good. Yeah, it is. You're right. See, it takes one to know one.
They call us the Big L's.
But he, like, there were a couple of times. One time I, like, pushed him into the bushes, and he was like, that was fucked up. Like, you could have killed me, basically. Like, and I was like, damn, I could have. And, like... I couldn't have, but I was like so angry. But we would get angry at each other and we would just fight it out, and then like 10 seconds later you'd be like, oh,
yeah.
Cool.
I feel like we would like lightsaber fight with dowel rods, we didn't actually want to hurt each other with those like sticks.
Yeah.
So we'd be like, you have to go in slow motion.
But
then obviously you'd start speeding up a little bit. Like, that wasn't slow. You start going faster. Eventually you just whack each other.
Yeah.
And getting hit in the knuckles is such an angry type of pain. You're just like, oh.
It is. There's certain things like that just like activate that lizard part of your brain that's like, I'm gonna choke someone.
Yeah, dude, there's one time my roommate like sort of like jump scared me, and I whipped around at him with like this just 2 seconds of like rage that he had never seen before, and he was like, oh, I didn't like that. I'm not gonna scare you anymore. That was like a completely different person came out for like 2 seconds, and then it like faded. Like a fucking werewolf. It's some evolutionary shit. It's to not get if you gonna get jumped by a tiger, you better get pissed in no seconds.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's why the fourth grader didn't kick your ass. Is because he didn't have time to be mad. He was just, he literally said, "What?"
Just confused. Yeah.
That's always a tough response to get when you punch someone in the face and they just go, "What?" Not even ow.
I think if he had been slightly older, he would have picked me up at like the scruff of my neck, like hugging me.
Is that a real move?
I think that's a real move. I've definitely done that. I actually done that to like my nephew, not like that, but like they're walking. They're like, we're trying to get out to the car or something, and I'm like,
that's not a bad place to steer him by.
You grab the back of their like overalls or whatever, and you're like, I got you. Okay,
yeah,
here you go.
It helps you understand how we got to the leash on kids thing, because it's like, well, if I could just, this could be easier.
Yeah. Is that the end of your verse?
Oh yeah, I think we got one last thing. Okay, so he's like, well, anyone could kill me. And the Lord's like, no. Anyone who kills you, their punishment's going to be 7 times worse. And he puts a mark on him that lets people not know not to kill him. Mm-hmm. Which I don't even know what to picture there. Like a tat? A mark that tells people who see him, don't kill this guy.
Barbed wire right around the bicep.
Don't tread on me, tat.
The first one, he has a snake. That little dumb snake.
To wrap up the first half, let's do just a scene in a tattoo parlor.
Okay.
Yeah, see, I feel like this will match pretty good.
Yeah.
I feel like in terms of the art style and everything, you feel like that lines up pretty with what you already have?
Yeah, I dig that. Yeah.
Okay.
I dig that. Yeah.
Okay, because it just feels like it's very much part of a series, and I just want to make sure it's in line with like the imagery you already have going up this arm.
Yeah, well, I need you to cover some of this up. So I only showed you that. I have to get rid of this.
Yeah, I'd never say this, but you for sure. Yeah, I'd get rid of that.
So I was just hoping you could blend it, like with your art style, because there's so much like colored in, border wise. If you could block this out somehow.
Did you have maybe some ideas of what I could turn a wolf holding a AR-15 into?
I was thinking like a wolf holding like his giant cock.
Okay. So you're cool with the wolf?
Yeah, I think the wolf.
And you think option that'd just be easier to go through life with is to turn it into a. You should.
I think because he is holding it that way, but maybe his cock is so big that it goes up and around, and then sort of he's holding it like it's a gun.
Have you talked to your friends about this idea?
No, my friends are mad at me.
You're about this or about something else?
No, I offered to take a bunch of money for all of us to put in a collective bet on a football game, and I just kept the money instead of putting it on the bet.
Is that how you're paying for this tab right now? So a bunch of guys are going to be mad at me, and I'm going to put a big cock on your arm?
I mean, you don't have to say it so judgmental, like.
Okay, I get to put a great big cock on your arm. All right, we'll be right back.
What's up? If you're new here, you're probably like, okay, I get the premise, but why is he calling himself Scoochie Boochie? That's because I make music. I do funny rap, kind of like The Lonely Island, and it's really good. Here's 4 bars.
Oh my god, it's Ronnie. Shout out to Ronnie at Outback. I was down bad, now up 20. All of my music is found cash for a crowd that finds butts funny. I'm being zany and lanky. I fuck like a rabbit. I feel like I'm Bugs Bunny.
And there's also a big-time lore component. I'd say my biggest influence in rap is the Magic Treehouse books. Remember those? Mummies in the Morning, Dolphins at Dawn, Nipples at Noon. I do concept albums, each one around a theme. I did an underwater album called The Lost City of Atlantis. I got a space album. I got a fantasy album. They're on Spotify. Check them out. They're really good. I also got some music videos on YouTube that are worth your time. Thanks for listening to Holy Smokes with Scoochie Boochie. Some free ways you can help us out. Hit like, drop a comment, subscribe, leave us a review on Spotify. All those things help out a lot. And if you really want to make sure the show doesn't die, head on over to patreon.com/holysmokespod. We got ad-free full episodes. We'll put your name in the credits if you want. And every month we got a brand new exclusive Patreon video. This month, it's a little 6-pack of Stand Up for Plants. 6 new jokes exclusively on the Patreon. Thank you so much for supporting the show. Let's get back to it.
It is funny that, like, the producer of this show is always high. Because it's just me being like, all right, cool. You can do that. Okay, so now the story lamp is off because we're about to start a story. The funny thing with the story lamp is I never remember to turn it off when we go into a riff, so it's almost never right, the thing that it signals. And also, it's a touch lamp, so a lot of times I just accidentally will turn it on or off. And it's supposed to have different levels of brightness. So, like, it's supposed to be like 1, 2, 3, but this bulb can't do that.
Because it's like a special bulb.
Right. So it's just it's in like a weird time. It's not in like 4/4.
Right.
It's in like,
I see. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's like every 3.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, we did Cain and Abel. Now it's your turn. Take it away.
Love it. Yeah. So this is not long after. So the story that I'm like really interested in is the Tower of Babel, but which is Genesis 11. Between what you read or what you were covering, there's like the Noah shit.
Yes.
So like Noah does the whole ark thing. I'm sure someone will do that.
That's coming up.
That could be a deep dive. But do you know what happens right after Noah does that?
Is it the rainbow? Remind me.
There's a rainbow.
Yep.
There is a rainbow. But then there's...
Is it straight to Tower of Babel?
No. There's a little strange interlude.
Oh.
A somewhat dark interlude.
I can't remember. I'm finding this out in real time, please.
Where a lot of like historians, their cop-out is like, maybe there's like stuff that's lost that would explain this and make it not weird. Like that's the best explanation, is people just hoping there's some like other countertextual.
Surely we're missing something.
Yeah. So Noah's done all the things. He got all the animals on the ark. He got his family on the ark. He's the only one that God saved. Like all this stuff has happened. Finally, the waters have receded. Mm-hmm. They get off the ark. Noah plants a vineyard immediately. Plants a vineyard, makes wine. Gets hammered.
Honestly, that's kind of what quarantine was. Like, if you were stuck in the ship for that long,
exactly,
with a bunch of manure and animals, I'm getting drunk.
Let's
start by planting a vineyard.
I promise I won't read every line, but it's just very funny to me how quickly this happened.
Let's get fucked up. That should be the credits of every Noah's movie.
And also, there's a distinction that the writer gives Noah that I think is very funny. Noah, a man of the soil, proceeded to plant a vineyard.
Boom.
A man of the soil. When he drank some of its wine, he became drunk and lay uncovered inside his tent. Oh, shit. So he's naked. Mm-hmm. So he's naked, drunk as shit, in his tent. Ham.
It's so funny to this. We haven't got to Ham yet. So this is the first time they hear about Ham. Yes, there's a guy named Ham.
His son named Ham. His other sons have like cool names, which I don't really remember. They're like Josepheth and Ephism or something like that.
Seth.
Whatever. But they have their names aren't Ham.
But they don't matter. Their name's not as cool as Ham.
But Ham walks into the tent, sees his dad drunk.
Yeah. Dick
out. And he goes back to his brothers and is like, Dad's drunk as shit. His dick is out. And they're like, that's fucked up. And so then his brothers do what I think any of us would do.
Yeah.
Is they hold up
Backwards blanket.
a big blanket backwards. So the two of them like align themselves like this, and they walk backwards because the dad Noah is drunk with his little dick out back there, and they're walking backwards so they don't see his dick, and then they put the blanket over.
They're like bumping into like dressers
They're bumping
and shit.
into shit. They're stubbing their like heels, not their toes, because they're walking backwards.
It's like moving a couch.
Yeah, they keep hitting their funny bones and shit. Yeah, it sucks. And anyway, they get the blanket over their dad.
Yeah.
He sleeps. He wakes up in the morning and he knows what Ham did. And he punishes Ham by telling him that his son and all of his descendants will be slaves.
God damn.
The punishment, and let's just keep in mind, what Ham did wrong was that he walked in and was like, yo, dad's drunk and naked, dude. That's what he did. Now, there's some translation, there's like some scholars are like, maybe there's some, little...
What?
There was like maybe some incestual, something like that, because they were like, why would he punish this so? Like, why would Noah immediately turn around and be like, Noah, who's been heretofore described as like very righteous.
Right. He was the only one. He was the best guy.
And then he turns and he's like, you saw my dick, so you're everyone.
We can't have anyone descended from anyone who's seen my dick in any sort of upward position.
Exactly. They're all meant to be tortured for the rest
It's crazy, like, especially early Bible, their curses were so powerful because it's like so many generations after that are now bugged.
Yeah. So it doesn't make Noah look great.
Snitches get stitches, dude. You narked on my dong, and
But
now
also,
you're
like,
doomed.
I just picture him just being like, I don't know what to do. Dad's naked and he's really drunk.
It's not like we have a protocol for this. I mean, clearly the other two brothers did. They're like, blanket mode.
This happens all the time. Get the blanket.
All right, get the dad's dick blanket.
Yeah, don't trip over the second stair, remember.
We know that, yep. You guys know the drill.
Yeah.
He was the spotter.
But
He was kind of the Paul Revere of the situation.
Yeah, I think he just alerted. I think he was just alerting people.
He was the canary in the coal mine of dad's dick being out.
I think Noah was just so embarrassed. I think he was just so embarrassed. He was like, I can't believe. Oh, and then there are other scholars. I was like, I looked this up because I was curious. And there are some that are like, this is the first drunkenness in the Bible. Like this is the first.
That's true.
And also they're like their argument is that like Noah discovered alcohol basically. Like, this is the story of like the first guy to be like drunk.
Yeah.
And so almost similar to like what you were talking about before, like first person to kill somebody. It's like, can you hold like don't judge Noah, like he didn't know.
He's just like, oh yeah, I just drank my oldest grapes.
Yeah, I drank the oldest grapes I have, and then my son came and fucked me. So I cursed the rest of his lineage.
I mean, it had to have already, I feel like, gotten freaky on the boat. They were on the boat for that long. Dude, talk about God seeing you when you jacket. Where do you jacket on the ark, dude?
No way. Well, yeah.
There's nowhere to go. It's moving around. It's leaking. There's
brutal. Yeah.
Like, dude,
you're in an oar hole.
You just shooting at the side. Why would they have oars? They don't need to go anywhere. Let's go north.
I know they're just trying to stay afloat. Like a boat without any kind of engine or rudder. It was just like, it just is a flotation.
That's how I picture. Because we'll get there, but I feel like they describe really in depth. It's like this many cubits of wood, which
they do.
What's a cubit?
Yeah. So
they very much like, just so we can kind of picture it, and like it's like, so all the pictures of it, I feel like that's the one thing that like kids books and stuff. It's like that is pretty much. We have a pretty detailed description of it.
Yeah.
And it's just a big wood. It's just like, there's no, like you said, no paddles or whatever. So like, dude, that thing's rocking. I feel like I get like thrown off by like the sound of my upstairs neighbors watching TV. Yeah. That'll kick me out of my zone, dude.
Yeah.
Let alone every animal right on the other side of the wall, dude. Try to bust when an elephant's like right next to you. Good elephant, by the way.
Excellent elephant.
And everyone on the boat is, I guess, your family, but you're also about to repopulate the earth. They've been freaky on the ark.
Super freaky. And just such a mantle to be like, God said I was the one decent human being.
And then I cut loose after a long work thing.
Look, I saved the world. I saved the entire ecosystem of the entire world.
Yeah.
So I got drunk.
Yeah.
So I planted a vineyard and I got fucking shit faced.
Yeah. I
deal.
love the like steadfast patience of that to be like, I want to get fucked up tonight. But to do that, there's going to be several steps.
I'll plant grapes and wait for 6 months. And in the meantime, I'll develop some type of like yeast strain.
The whole 6 months, he was just sitting there like, we getting fucked up on Friday, 6 months from now. I'm not doing shit. You saw my dick? Fuck you forever, dude. Dude, talk about like, what did I do last night? You don't even know drunkenness exists.
Yeah, you'd be like, yeah. I guess now that we talked about it more, I do understand why he curses son.
You don't. Yeah,
sons.
you're freaking out. You don't know why you don't remember last night. You feel terrible. He was hungover. He's in the worst mood.
He's in the worst mood, and he's like, he doesn't know what the fuck is happening. And he's like, all I know is it was really cold, and so we all know what happens when it's cold. And fucking Ham walked in here. Fucking Ham. Your mother named you, by the way. Your mother named you.
You think I would have named you Ham?
Yeah. That was that bitch's idea, all right? Not me. He walked in, he saw my hog.
More like a piglet in that weather.
It was more of a piglet in that wind. It was windy too inside.
Yeah. We didn't even have buildings yet. We had a vineyard. We're in an arc shanty town made of the leftover wet wood that survived. Like, to build a wooden structure when the whole earth just got flooded, all that's left is, like, the wettest wood. So they're in the little shit shacks, and it's like, I'm gonna get fucked up.
Yeah. There's leaves as a roof, for sure. And all he did was take a little dick-out nap.
What, a guy can't in his own tent? What happened to America, dude?
There's, like, 10 people that exist on the earth. What are the odds that someone's gonna walk in?
Oh, I can get a little privacy when there's 10 folks?
We can each have our own continent.
Go, yeah, take Australia, dude.
And fucking Ham is busted in there. Oh my god, dude. Dad's dick is so fucking small, dude.
I bet he drew on him with a Sharpie.
Dude, look at his little ass dick.
And you know Ham was packing, dude. His name was Meat, dude.
He's like, oh shit, Dad, we only brought one earthworm because we thought your dick was the other one.
Art slams. Yeah. Dude, that's incredible.
But see, this is why I dig the Old Testament, is because God was so fucking petty back in the Old Testament.
Absolutely.
And so it's like easier for me to believe. It's easy, or not even believe, but just like understand, like a God who's like kind of a dick.
Yeah.
It was like, hey, I'm gonna kill everybody.
Yeah.
I don't like what I created.
Some of these guys
It
are fucking
sucks. A lot of these guys fucking suck. I'm gonna kill everyone except you. Can you get every animal in the world? 2 of them, you have 7 days. Like, I kind of get that God who's just like, I need to hit a reset. I fucked up this game.
Yeah. Here's what I like. And it's not all the animals. They said of every animal, but like we have the bones to prove he was like, hey yo, some of these fish are too big. I fucked up on the size of a lot of these, so we're not gonna keep doing the plesiosaur.
Yeah.
Let's do that's a good scene, is just like God firing some animals before they are.
Yeah.
Theo, what's up, G-Man?
Hey. So I'm sure you saw the cataclysmic event.
What? What's up?
The cataclysmic event, I think you saw.
No, it's practicing mixed martial arts with my guys.
Yeah. You're so good at what you do.
Thank you.
You're so...
Got hot breath.
Yeah. You're such a talented raptor. You're so... And I love you. You know, because I created you in my image. One of my images.
Thanks, G-Man.
But I think you saw that there will be a...
You got any blow?
There will be a cataclysmic event.
I don't know what that means, dog. Can I eat? Are we eating? What are we doing, G-Man? Life is good.
We're gonna put you... We have to put you out of commission. I'm sorry.
What? After everything I've done for this continent? Who keeps the fucking plesiosaurs under control?
You do.
Yeah.
You do.
Come from the side.
None of you can hold a paintbrush.
The fuck is a paintbrush?
None of you can use a pen. You don't know what they are.
I can do the visual arts. Put a brush in my mouth like a pig. Pigs are smart. You don't think I'm smarter than a pig?
I'm not gonna I was going to say dehumanize you like that.
I'm gonna claw you. I'm clawing God. Yeah. It's like a first grader punching a fourth grader.
Yeah.
It's a velociraptor slashing at God.
But anyway, Genesis 11 is the Tower of Babel.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like the lines here, so I'm going to read them. Now the whole world had one language and a common speech. As men moved eastward, they found a plain in Shinar and settled there. They said to each other, "Come, let's make bricks and bake them thoroughly." Then they said, "Let us build ourselves a city with a tower that reaches to the heavens so that we may make a name for ourselves." So they build a fucking tower.
Mm-hmm.
They're all speaking the same language, and they're concentrated, and they're operating very efficiently. And they make a tower. And they say, "Let us make a name for ourselves and not be scattered over the face of the whole earth."
Mm-hmm.
But the Lord came down to see the city and the tower that the men were building. Now, I want to focus on this sentence for a second because I think it's hilarious that the Lord had to come down. I'm coming down. I thought he was everywhere all the time.
He hit him with the "what you do?"
Yeah, I don't get why he had to come down. It sounds very haughty. It sounds contemptuous.
It's some of that in the Garden of Eden too, where like they hear him coming, so they dive in the bushes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, what is
He
this?
used to be like Hank Hill or something.
He's acting. Like, he's like one of those friends who's like, they are over elaborating or like acting up what they think. You know what I mean? Like, you are interpreting. If that makes sense.
What do you mean?
He's like, it'll creep them out if they can overhear me coming down. You know what I mean?
like the way you sort of give a nonverbal cue to someone that you're in there, or like clear your throat in a bathroom stall, like, don't even need to knock. There's a guy.
Yeah, he's like trying to psych them out. He's trying to like appear as though he's like mortal a little bit by being like, "I'm coming down. Let me see the city that you're building. Like, I gotta come on down."
I kind of picture like Dean from Community, just busted into whatever they're doing.
Yeah. He's in their face immediately. And also, by the way, let's just keep in mind that very recently he killed everyone for being disorderly, chaotic, and violent.
And now they're organized.
Now they're organized, and they're just building a tower.
Yep.
So the Lord came down to see the city and the tower that the men were building. The Lord said, "If as one people speaking the same language they plan to do will be in..." Oh, sorry.
Also, reading tiny letters high is proving to be difficult. It's something we've run into every time. Where it's like, oh shit, I don't usually read the Bible high, turns out.
The Lord said, "If as one people speaking the same language they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language so they will not understand each other."
He saw like the Cowboys stadium and was like, "Oh, they're gonna get me.
They're gonna reach up here." Like, they were getting into his neighborhood, and he was like, "No. This is gonna lower the fucking property values."
There goes the neighborhood, dude. They're building. Yeah.
But he was threatened. He was threatened by them organizing too efficiently. But I like the story because I think it's like, especially following the Noah one, is like he's like mad when the Lord is mad when people are too disorderly, and then he's mad when they're too organized. Yeah. And I do kind of get that, because I feel like I get annoyed by both of those things too. Like, I want to be somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
If something's too rigid, I feel like an insult.
When you go to someone's house and it's like way too fucking clean, like that scene in Juno when she's got like the immaculate house and she's adjusting the little sticks in the transparent vase, that's uncomfortable. Big transparent windows in the front of the house, you can see floor to ceiling. Like,
yes.
But on the other side, like hoarder house.
Pure
like,
chaos hoarder house, also just like even more like terrifying. Yeah. So yeah, it's somewhere in the middle is the where humans exist. So that's what I take away from these things. But I do like that he's just so petty that he basically is again like a kindergartner kicking over blocks, being like, "That's too tall."
I don't like how good it is.
I don't like how good
that is a classic little kid move. They're just like, I don't like it because, and it's not a reason people don't like things. It's like too pretty, or something. Yeah. I mean, how sick must that tower been, dude? That he was like, oh,
it must have been
sick as fuck, dude.
It intimidated God.
Yeah, he was like, oh, he made everything. And he saw his tower and was like, yo, it was like a halo ring or something.
Yeah. Which again, there also is like in this story and in the previous one that we talked about, there is so much burning of his own.
Yeah.
Which we talked about, but like burning of his own creations, like, supposedly. And it's like, he's getting surprised. Yeah. Like this character of God in the Old Testament is like constantly getting surprised, which again, like if he's omniscient, shouldn't happen. He's like, you should never be surprised by anything. But he's constantly surprised.
He's so in the mix in the Old Testament. That's why it's more fun, honestly. Yeah. Once he starts getting a little more like ambiguous later on in the New Testament, it's not as fun. When he's like a character in the OT, like I like that him as a character a lot.
He's
more.
Like a mean narrator. He's like a narrator with too much power.
He's like, it's like Roller Coaster Tycoon or something. I also noticed there was a cool connection to the creation story and yours, where they say he's a man of the soil, because like it was just talking about like he makes Adam just like from the soil. So they all are. They're all dirt boys.
Right.
We're dirt bags from the jump, dude. Men are made of dirt, and women are made of men's ribs. It's not a great look. Like we're kind of nasty, low key.
Super nasty. And that is also why it's so frustrating. The like. At least to me, as like a kid growing up in the church, being told like, you're like original sin, like you are dirt, like you're dirty because you're from the soil, and like you're fucked up, and you better apologize. I'm like, well, you fucked up. I didn't make myself, bitch. Like you did. So like, how about it's your fault? Why do I have to like apologize to you? And be like, I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, but
I'm so sorry that I keep doing what you made me do.
It is really funny the way that changes based on how old the kid is. When it's 4, it's like maybe you stole a crayon or you pushed your sister. And then when you're 16, it's like maybe guns and jizz are in the picture.
Maybe guns and jizz.
The old G and J, dude.
Who knows what order or what combination, but they're happening. Guns and jizz. I don't think I've ever held a gun.
Really? Yeah. Okay, so that's good. I feel a little better. I have fired a gun. I have not even seen a fight, but I have.
I'd love to fire.
I shot a pistol this past year for the first time I touched it.
How'd it feel?
It was good because my buddy was like knows a lot about it and was very like cool and safe about it, and it felt good because I hit the little metal like target a couple times.
Nice.
And so it was like very much. I mean, what a classic male ego boost! Just be like, I fucking shot a thing and it went between.
Oh yeah, I feel that sounds incredible.
Like you could take L's all week. Just your boss like spanks you in front of everybody, and your pants fall down at the fridge, and then on just Saturday you get to just unload a clip right into the metal thing. It's all,
your son sees your dick. He tells your other sons about it. He sees your little ass dick, and
let's do Noah blowing off steam at the gun range after the little dick incident. You good there, Noah, man? How you doing, man? You've been going at it for a while. You want to take a break?
I want the AR.
You want the AR?
I want the AR.
That's right. You say you always do just the pistols.
No, I want something a little heavier this time.
All right. You good, man?
I will be. I just need the AR.
Okay. Deafening noise for 15 minutes. You need water? Like you want a beer or something, man? You good? Are you hungover still?
What's the average dick size?
What?
What do you think the average dick size is?
0.8 cubits.
All right.
Why?
That's what I thought too.
Okay.
No reason.
24 minutes of deafening gunfire. That's my gun. Hey, man.
Come on, just let me use it.
All right, but you're buying the ammo, man. Shit ain't cheap. Sorry for cussing. Are you crying?
What's crying?
I think we know about crying at this point.
I think we've discovered crying at this point.
It's been a few generations.
Like crying didn't happen until there were like submarines.
The first tears to hit the soil were in like 1500 or something.
No one cried until World War I.
It finally got bad enough.
That's why the early like travesties aren't so tragic because people are not.
What this is? It's so fun doing improv scenes where you just like the really early stuff because it's like, what do we have? Like, what toys are even allowed in this?
What's possible?
Today we did first murder, first drunkenness.
Yeah. First dick seeing.
First blackout story.
First tower that was too pretty.
Dude, yeah, I must have been so sick. I bet it had like cool like glass elevators and like big screens and like a lot of drink carts where you can turn your back on someone in a powerful meeting.
Right.
And like a greenhouse, a really nice. Probably just a big gun pointed at the sky, right? It's probably the Death Star, right?
It was actually it was a propulsion system.
He's like, one of the angels is like, sir, they got a lock.
He's
What?
in a fucking fighter jet.
He's in the big chair, like what? Evasive action.
He's like a cross between like Charles Xavier and fucking Wonder Woman and the Invisible Airplane, like flying around.
Whoa!
Jesus,
That one was close.
man, they evolved quickly.
They were just in the big wood boat. That took no time. It was just the Death Star.
Yeah.
They were just like, fire when ready. And he was like, oh, shit. That actually does make me wonder, like, one of the things he's specifically mad at there is that they all had one language. Do you think the guys that came up with, like, Google Translate were like, God's not gonna like
This is not gonna be.
We know for a fact he is.
I do actually, and not to like get too, I don't know, whatever,
Please.
sincere, but I think I have thought about the Tower of Babel a lot, partly because I read this Neil Stephenson book that was really, really good called Fall, and he like explores the story in relation to like how we consume information now and how it's so like
Cool.
just designed to just like immediately hit our brain and not have like a filter.
Yeah.
And so I think like the Tower of Babel has been an interesting story to me because I feel like there is something really useful and like human about translation, like things getting mixed up in translation.
Yeah.
And then inadvertently finding different connections because of that, or like, certain connections having more depth because they're in the same language. Just like having it be more variable, like feels more human. I don't know how well I'm expressing it.
Yeah, I don't want us to get to only one language.
It just would be reductive.
Yeah, it'd be dystopian and weird, and like a lot of times you hear about like, oh, this language has a word for this feeling, and you're like, fuck, we should have a word for that.
Right.
But
then and like taking the like incorporating lots of different things, like the way like some people hate like emojis or whatever, and like I get that, like I hated them initially too, and it's like I think it's fine to have a little bit mixed in, but if you can imagine like only communicating in emojis, and it's like you can communicate with like anyone in any country, but you can only use like the 140 emojis that Apple has decided.
That's so true. And,
and
what a
horrible.
Funny selection there are, dude. It's like road to the hospital. You're like, whoa.
You could be like trying to communicate something. You're like,
Urgently in emojis.
You're like non-binary chef, fire. It's supposed to,
That's also a great rapper name. Non-binary chef, dude.
It's supposed to indicate-
Let them cook.
That's what it's supposed to communicate. You said it after your favorite player scores a touchdown. You're like non-binary chef.
Dude, the other day, speaking of which, we were watching, there was an NFL game, and a guy scored a touchdown, and his teammate was going, he, him, as if to say, like, he is him, but so it was like, he's just letting everyone know his pronouns. It's like, he, him. I just scored a touchdown in the NFL, in case you're wondering.
Yeah.
He, him, also.
Hell yeah.
Don't get it wrong.
Okay, this feels stupid to go this far back, but I'm just curious. So you did grow up religious too?
Yep, yeah, it was like Presbyterian, Reformed, kind of like predestination shit, but mostly just like Jesus loves you. But we'd like, every sermon was like just working through a book of the Bible, so we'd get into some pretty like hardcore stories and stuff. But,
at what age were you like, or, did it never happen?
just sort of gradually in college.
You were just like...
Once it was up to me, I was like, I'm all set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have a specific, like... Or is there something that like changed? It was just gradual.
I'd say it's pretty gradual.
Yeah.
It was like going to church less and just like a series of thinking about it and conversations and stuff. I was like nah, it wasn't like a big, like Shawshank Redemption. Like,
Right.
That'd be cooler.
Did it cause any like issues with your fam?
It's a little weird. They're all still on board.
Yeah.
And I'm a rapper. So that's fun. Yeah. So they're honestly like it could be a lot worse. Like especially friends of mine that have like hardcore like send your kids to Christian school parents and stuff. It could be way worse. Like in terms of like
Oh yeah.
like people getting cut off and stuff. Like they're still very much supportive in a general way and love me and stuff, which is great. So like despite our differences on that, but like it's a little weird for sure.
Yeah. No, I feel that.
You know, is your family still on board?
My parents, I mean, to whatever degree, I don't know. Like they're very like intellectually on board. My mom is like she's bought in for sure. I mean,
I kind of feel like it's good that there's some. Like I don't want everyone to not believe because then it's like I don't know.
No, I actually really love the way that my mom is Christian. Like, like she's so kind and so compassionate and like very
definitely.
I would say like very much like a follower of Christ.
Yeah.
Which I think is a very high compliment.
Yeah.
You know, like whether or not like whatever you believe. Like I think like somebody following that. I would say the same thing. It's like someone who I think truly is following Buddha or something. Like it's a very.
It's like when someone has like a good diet. You're like, oh, nice. Good for you.
And but like if a good
sometimes
if a good diet
sometimes.
But if a good diet also is like good for the people around them, because I think that like, she's a very positive influence on people around her.
Yeah.
So I guess where I was going with that was I love my mom, but yeah, she's much more like bought in, you know, or like into Christianity, and I don't know.
It's so true. It's just like in the same way that someone who's a vegetarian can be great or an asshole. I feel the same way about Christians. Like there's some really great ones. There's some that are assholes.
Yeah.
Because there's just a lot of people that are that, and some of them are going to be cool, and some of them are going to be dicks. It's not as simple as just like fuck you all. Yeah. It's like, well, come on.
Well, then also like it was so trendy like in college to be like I'm an atheist. Like I remember like, and I was that guy. I can remember like getting in arguments with even more like a girlfriend I had at the time. She was a Christian, and I was like, I like kind of convinced her, which is a horrible feeling. Horrible feeling.
Yeah, who wins?
I mean, no one. Because she was like, you know what? I remember we like argued. We like weeks. And we were also like young and in love. You know what I mean? So it was like, you know, it was very like torrid.
You screw tape letters, dude. You fucking, you know what I'm talking about?
Dude,
What's his name? Wormwood?
Yeah.
You fucking Wormwooded her ass.
Yeah.
You got that wormwood, dog.
Yeah, except I won instead of C.S. Lewis winning at the end of that. But dude. No, she was like, fine.
Damn.
You convinced me. She's like, no, like you honestly like okay, fine. I had never felt so bad.
What a terrible fight to win.
Horrible. And then but it also did teach me for the rest of my life. I mean, I was like 19, I guess. 18 and a half. And I was like, I'm never going to push this way.
It's like in the same way that I feel like aggressively evangelizing people is rude. It's like just trying to decide that for anybody else one way or the other is like
whatever gets
not nice.
And the older you get, you're just like, if it gets you through the day, like who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like if you like love astrology, like fine.
Yeah.
You're not hurting anybody. It gets you through the day. It like helps you be a little nicer to the person who fucking cut you off. Like fine.
It's like, your soul cycle class is fully a cult. It's just a different kind of church. It's just a different kind of church, but if that's what gets you to do it, then all right, cool. It's a very like 18 or 19-year-old like think you're smart boy to be like
oh, you think like the whole earth?
Oh, you think there's a point? You're so dumb.
There's no point.
And then you both just sit there like,
yeah.
So you want to get chicken tenders? And then you try to like make a move after that. So since it doesn't matter, are we in the mood? Nothing matters. Does that turn you on? Like, nah. I kind of want to just look at the rain for a little bit. You kind of bum me out.
Yeah, I don't.
Depressing Riz is kind of funny.
Just brutal.
Hey, yo, girl. I don't know if you know this, but when you die, that's it. So.
There's no such thing as original sin. That means that you can sin whenever you want. Even right here on this park bench with me.
She's like, damn, can we go indoors?
No, my dad's in the tent and his dick is out.